Stevie. Stevie. Chase says hi. Chase says hi. Stevie says hi back. Ay, caramba. Yeah. Yeah. KOTA called me up before. 2 seconds. And welcome back inside Rushmore Plaza Civic Center, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mark Benetti alongside you in the broadcast booth, bringing you your post-game show and recap, which sees your Rapid City Rush hang on for what was a very calamity-filled third period and a 6-5 win to go undefeated at 9-0 on the season. We have 11 goals to recap for you in our post-game show. We'll get to those in just a few moments. But first, let's take a look at some scores from around the world of hockey, turning to our attention to our brethren in the Central Hockey League. Every game played tonight is a final score. So, with that in mind, the Tulsa Oilers win their 4th straight game as they defeat the St. Charles Chill by a 3-2 score in a shootout. Quad City defeats the Denver Cutthroats 4-3 in Moline, Illinois, and the biggest score, aside from ours on the scoreboard in the CHL, the Missouri Mavericks shut out the Wichita Thunder 3-0. The last two undefeated teams in the Central Hockey League will go head-to-head in Rushmore Plaza Civic Center next Friday and Saturday, and it will be an absolute treat. For all those of you still listening, I encourage you to come out to that game and support the Rapid City Rush next Friday and Saturday. It will be a heck of a series, and great hockey will be displayed in front of us for sure. Let's take a look at some scores from around the National Hockey League. Every score is final except the only game that's in progress, which is the Los Angeles Kings holding a 5-1 lead over the Vancouver Canucks at the end of 40 minutes of play. All your final scores for you are the Flyers defeating the Oilers 4-2, the Senators beating the Panthers 3-2, Boston defeats Toronto 3-1. Detroit loses to Tampa Bay in overtime 3-2. The Minnesota Wild outlast the Carolina Hurricanes 3-2 in a shootout. The Columbus Blue Jackets rout the New York Islanders 5-2. St. Louis Blues, not Blackhawks, Blues, take a 2-1 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Chicago Blackhawks, so you got the team right now. The Chicago Blackhawks take a 5-2 win over the Dallas Stars, and by virtue of a shootout, the Phoenix Coyotes win 4-3 over the Washington Capitals. Honorable mention on scores from around the league comes from college football as the University of Alabama Crimson Tide hold on to rout the LSU Tigers 38-17 and keeps the SEC's hopes alive in winning what could be their 8th consecutive BCS championship title. But more on that to come when January rolls around and Alabama possibly wins the SEC championship. We'll still figure that out. Plenty of time left in the football season to this point. Well, that will do it for our Dodgetown out-of-town scoreboard. When we come back, I will bring you a statistical recap of the previous 60 minutes of play and try the very best that I can to explain what in the wide world of sports happened in the last 2 minutes of the third period here in Rushmore Plaza Civic Center. Stick around. You're listening to the official radio home of your Rapid City Rush on 100.3 The Fox. 2 minutes. All right. Okay, what in the wide world of sports happened down there in the last 2 minutes?
I don't freaking know.
John, what happened?
The linesman called Farina out when he wasn't entitled to come out on the ice. And he scored a goal. He wasn't entitled to be on the ice, so they had to recycle it to disallow the goal and put him back in the box. But they never put a replacement. He was serving 4 minutes, double minor. But 2 were up on the board because they were coincidental.
No wonder.
Joe did not put anybody in the box to serve the minor. He can't come out, and nobody can come out. That's why they had to continue skating 3. And then Conrad got his penalty. So then they were able to put somebody on for Farina, but Farina still couldn't come out until 108 when his penalty expired.
If you can calm down a slight bit, do you want to explain that on the air to the fans, please? Please. I need help. Chase, how much time do we have left? 1 minute. All right, we've got 1 minute.
You ask questions and I'll give answers.
I'll just say what in the wide world of sports happened, and you go right for it on there. When we get to the third period, I'll introduce you in. Let me pull up the game sheet real quick.
All right.
That is something else. John, test your mic out real quick. Can you hear Chase?
Testing, 1, 2. I can hear you.
Yeah, there you go.
We're hearing everybody.
I have my head of off-ice officials, John Helsden, with me, so he's going to walk the fans at home through what exactly happened in that last 2 minute span.
Mark, you don't want to know.
That's
If
fine.
anybody recalls,
just breathe.
Justin Farina got a penalty for a double minor penalty for roughing it with 4:08 to go in the game.
See, I didn't know it was a double minor.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't know that at all. That was insane.
and they put 2 minutes up on the board as they should because there was a coincidental minor with number 2 from Arizona also got a minor for roughing. So 2 minutes went up on the board.
Okay.
And
hang on a sec. We gotta recap.
oh, okay.
Yep. And welcome back inside Rushmore Plaza Civic Center, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mark Benetti alongside you in the broadcast booth, bringing you your post-game show and recap, which sees your Rapid City Rush hang on for a 6-5 win over the Sundogs in what was a calamity-filled third period within the last 2 minutes. And we'll get to recapping that in just a moment with my special guest that is joining me. But first, let's go ahead and recap all 11 goals that happened on the play, or rather, bring you up to the point when the 11th goal was scored. So we'll start off the scoring. Power play goal by Jesse Schultz, 9:13 into the contest off the assist from Conrad Reeder and Tristan Llewellyn. That was the first power play goal the Rush scored against the Sundogs all series to this point. Came into tonight 0 for 13 and netted a power play goal thanks to Jesse Schultz right there. Rapid City was not done as Jared Brown would take a nice pass from Eric Giosa, dance around his defenseman, and score 10:39 into the period. Again, off the assist from Eric Giosa to make it 2-0. Winston Daychief made it 3-0 for the Rush shortly after that, 11:21 of the period off the assist from Conrad Reeder. And then Tristan Llewellyn would score a power play goal to make it 4-0 for the Rush, 14:29 into the first period. A power play goal off the assist from Jesse Schultz and Conrad Reeder. Conrad Reeder had 3 assists. All 3 of his points came in the first period on phenomenal passing by the veteran center. And Jesse Schultz also extended his assists and point streak to 5 games. Unfortunately, Conrad Reeder did not score tonight, so his streak went to 4 games scoring, but 5 on the score sheet. The second period started off, it was 4-0 Rapid City, and then Justin Sawyer would score his 3rd goal in 4 games off of the assist from Ryan Palmer and Jared Brown, 3:45 into the second, making it 5-0 Rapid City. But then the Arizona Sundogs would try and claw back. Paul McElveen would score a goal off the assist from Jason Morgan and Justin Pender, 4:04 into the second period to make it 5-1, and then Dion Campbell would follow that up shortly after with a power play goal off the assist from Brian Cameron and Jordan Clendenning, 12:25 into the period, and the score would read 5-2 going into the final frame of action. Eric Giosa, 51 seconds into the third period, would score to make it 6-2 off the assist from Matt Lark and Jared Brown, who had a 3-point night with a goal and 2 assists. But Rapid City had some trouble to deal with. Arizona would score 2 goals in the span of 19 seconds. The first coming from Jordan Clendenning, a power play goal off the assist from Paul McElveen and Jeff Bovino, and then Ryan Gauthier scoring off the assist from Paul McElveen and Justin Pender, 12:42 into the period. So 19 seconds apart, it's 6-4. And then we come to the calamity-filled part of the third period, and it is now that I introduce my special guest, the head of our off-ice officials here with the Rapid City Rush, John Helsden. John, last 2.5 minutes, explain to all the fans at home what in the wide world of sports happened here on the ice.
Well, Mark, it's a little bit complex. At 4:08, Justin Farina got a double minor for roughing, and an Arizona player, number 2, also got a 2-minute minor for roughing, or for unsportsmanlike conduct, I'm sorry. So the double minor and the minor don't quite offset each other. So Justin had to serve 4 minutes, and they put 2 minutes up on the board, which is correct, because the 2 minutes, they're going to be down a man since they were not totally coincidental penalties. So the Rush were remiss because they didn't send anybody over into the penalty box to come out of the penalty box when Justin's first 2-minute minor expired. That was the first problem. At that point, play went on, and with 2:50 left to go, Conrad Reeder got a penalty for covering the puck with his hand. It's called handling the puck off a face-off. So he had to go in, and the Rush still didn't send anybody over to sit the penalty, the 2-minute minor that was on the clock for Justin. So as time winds down and it goes past the 2:08 mark, and the penalty on the board expired, but since the Rush